the couch or the sofa being chopped in half. It looks so weird. Hi and welcome back to the channel. I'm Steven with your weekly figure news fix. This time around 8th to 13th of July 2024. For this week, once again, we have a lot of figures to go through, even more on the third party side, especially the degenerate ones. So without further ado, let's move ahead with HLJ Hobby Link Japan. With the genuine figures, I have chosen the stuff I want to cover and I am skipping past all those Pelverse stuff, yeah, the Nintendo stuff, right? Okay, the first one over here, begin with 1x4 skill as usual. There are like 3 1x4 skills this week on HLJ. The first one, Senran Kagura again. Is Senran Kagura all freeing those nowadays? Yeah, 1x4 skills. Senko Bunny version for 37,000 yen. It is the same across the board and coming out in April 2024. Now, among so many Senran Kagura Bunny girls so far, this one is the most absurd one yet in terms of how little clothes covering her opai right there. Like, way too little. But if that is your kind of thing, pick one up, right? I'm sure Senran Kagura collectors will want to complete the entire set. Moving up to the next one, we have a 1x4 scale Catwoman They Are No Baseball Girl version by Kia Premium. First time I'm seeing this name. Going for 41,000 yen and releasing in March next year. There is a cheaper 1x7 scale version for this one, which is always nice. Going for 23,500 yen. And it may seem a little bit expensive, but both of these figures, they are partially customable, by the way. So you may want to consider that if you are into cat girls, which I absolutely love myself. But in this specific character over here, this specific design, let me have a closer look at her face right here. Yeah, she is nice, she is cute, but I'm fine with skipping past this one. Yeah. Okay, moving on to the next figure. Okay, we have a low-cost 1x4 scale by Bear Panda, Kuro Sister, Black Sister, Bunny Girl version. Yeah, once again, we have cloth covering opai only. Not exactly. No, this is more like, not exactly cloth covering, but it goes all the way along the sides. But anyway, this is only under 12,000 yen at 1x4 scale, so you may want to pick one up. I'm not sure if I will pre-order, but I am indeed interested because, you know, who doesn't want a 1x4 scale for so low in price? Yeah, you might want to pick one up. So this one is coming out in August next year. Great buy, and I love those glossy stockings so much, man. Moving on to the next one. Okay, that is all for 1x4 scales in HLJ. Later we have binding stuff in Ami later. Now, this next figure over here, this one actually went on pre-order last Saturday, late Saturday. So by then I have completed filming my FNF for last week. So now we'll go through her very briefly. 1x6 scale Plasma and Slime Standard Edition. This is by Limland, Chinese brand by the way. Under 20,000 yen. And there is a Hadaka version over here where you have a slime blocking her Meow Meow going for 24,500 yen. I really wish that we have parts from both the standard and the DX and the Hadaka version over here being included in this more expensive variant. I hope it is because, you know, it is another 5,000 yen more. Personally, to be honest, I actually prefer to display her with the clothes on, simply because it makes the figure look a bit more detailed. Yeah. And yeah, we have a girl playing with blue color Bukake over here, and I do find her very attractive. The character design on this one, I love my lollies, and this is the kind of character I actually like a lot. So we will see. Moving up to the next one over here, this is my personal favorite figure this week, Sophia F Shirring again from Bunny Suit Planning. There are at least half a dozen figures of her by now, and I still don't know who she is. Anyways, this is the deluxe version, going for 32,000 yen. You get a wall scroll, I assume. Yeah, because the standard version is only 1,000 yen cheaper. This is a partially cast-offable figure. Her hood and everything, they are all removable and you can display her with opai exposed. So at this price point, For this level of detail you're getting, this is quite the deal, to be honest. And I have never imagined science fiction going so well together with a nun outfit. Yeah, sometimes right, the kind of imagination and crossover artists they can come up with can be quite amazing. And even me, myself as a photographer, we need to be creative as well with our imagination, but I'm still not at the level, I'm still not at the level of this artist. So sometimes I'm unwilling to think out of the box. Yeah, this is an amazing combo, seriously. Okay, moving up to the next one. This is by Charm, and at 1/6 skill with secret technique dual wielding my Kagenoi. Sounds like my Shiranui from KOF. Anyways, this is almost 26,000 yen coming out next December 2025. Wow. We are only halfway past the second quarter of 2024, and this figure might come out in 2026 if there is even a 1-month delay. Character design, I like it a lot. Dual wielding, double katana, I like it a lot. Just that, once again, the shape of the Oppai is kind of unrealistic. We're dealing with anime physics over here. By right, they should sack down ever so slightly because of their weight, but maybe she is taking a lot of supplements when it comes to what do you call that again? This specific supplement that is important for skin and for your ligaments, your tendons, and so on. I can't recall it at the moment. Anyways, I like it a lot, just that I can't afford to buy everything I like, otherwise I would go bankrupt. Moving on to the next one, we have Gozen Maiden, Sui Seiki, and So Seiki from Flare, which is actually Alter in disguise, by the way, a smaller branch of theirs. Of course, they won't admit it. Almost 33,000 yen, which is okay in my opinion. Number one, the Japanese yen has depreciated even further. It is like at the lowest exchange rate in history, even against my own country's very weak currency. And there are two figures over here. Technically two figures, even though they are short characters. I think 33,000 yen is fair. Maybe 30k would be nice, but 33k is still fair, yeah. Moving on to the next one, we have a 1/6 skill Silpha Bunny version from Reincarnated as 7th Prince. I did not expect this character to receive so much attention from figure brands, to be honest. This is like her third figure by now. Yeah, her third one. And I think Frieren was really wise to go with 1/6 skill for this specific character because this is a seasonal anime character. Yes, there is a season 2, so the anime and the popularity gets to live a bit longer, but in the end, it is still a seasonal anime unless it gets like 4 or 5 seasons, then maybe the popularity of the series will run a lot longer. But now we have season 2 confirmed. So, as we all know, people who are into seasonal anime, their loyalty is the absolute worst, and they forget their waifus 3 months after the anime finishes airing. And for those who ended up pre-ordering figures from this seasonal anime, by the time they come out, they lose interest and they cancel their pre-order, which is why a lot of seasonal anime characters, their figures bargain bin. Yeah, look at FuRyu. Happens a lot. And also why many more seasoned, more experienced figure brands like Alter, they really refuse to touch anything from seasonal anime. If you guys have noticed, a lot of their figures come from games, right? Yeah. Okay, moving on to the next one. Over here, we have a pair of ReZero figures, Ram and Rem, as usual, Gothic version, by FuRyu. Ophinex, almost 34,000 yen. I have a friend, his name is, he goes by Small World Photography. And he is a hardcore mad fan of Ram and Rem, and he is already bitching about the prices of this pair of figures. But seriously, yeah, 34,000 yen feels really overpriced. But at the same time, once again, let me bring up the depreciation of the yen. I think they have to factor that in. If the yen is already pretty bad today, imagine what it will be like next year. Yeah. Will it get worse? I don't know, but will it improve? I think it is quite unlikely. These two figures are coming out in March next year, which is actually quite fast for a FuRyu figure, so we'll see how they turn out like. And this is something you need to buy as a set, right? It feels so incomplete. Like, these figures are obviously meant to be with each other. And if you buy only one, it is like the couch or the sofa being chopped in half. It looks so weird. I know that FuRyu wants to give people a choice. They don't want to force people to buy both, but buying only one makes no sense at all. Literally chopped in half, man. Okay, moving on to the next one. We have two figures of the quintessential quintuplets. This time around, Yotsuba Nakano Angel version and also Itsuki Nakano. Both of these girls, I'm not a big fan of them. 25,000 plus yen each, down from 27k by Proof, coming out in February next year, which is once again pretty fast. I mentioned this like 3 times already. I'm not getting figures from this specific series, from this specific manufacturer. 27k for a figure of a character wearing wings where it did not happen in the anime. I'm not sure if I like that. Maybe this is based on an illustration from the manga or light novel cover or whatever that is. I know it is based on an illustration, but still not my kind of thing. And my last question for you guys regarding these two figures, or these two characters rather, which is your favorite sister among the 5? Let me know down in the comments below. I don't know who to choose, to be honest. I think Miku should be near my favorite. Should be Miku, I think. Moving on to the next one. Last week we have one Meow Meow figure. This week we have another 2, and they are worth buying just for the props to use with a Nandoroid collections if you have any. The first one here, DLC series Tea Time Cats Girl Scene Meowtan Bakery Customer by Weebos, a really good Chinese brand, for 11,400 yen, coming out in March. And the next one for the same price, Bakery Clark. I like the props so much, but they are incompatible with scale figures. Moving on to the next one. This is actually the best selling figure over at Ami, and I am very surprised. I did not expect that. Now, this is a great concept figure for this Japanese folklore on this haunted creature or girl or whatever it is called Sadako. My favorite Sadako is the one you saw in this age anime where she turns into this really cute lolly. I like that a lot. Anyways, this is Kotobukiya's depiction of her, and personally it looks like a hairy dickhead to me for some reason. But the other version over here, the other head sculpt where you can see one eye, I think this is fabulous to look at, right? So for 18,000 yen, for such a concept figure which appears to be floating in mid-air, a levitating figure, this is a great buy. Yeah, doesn't matter whether you know Sadako or not as a character in Japanese folklore. I think this is a good buy. Not my kind of thing, but this is great for a photographer like me who want to create a scene, you know. I love those video tips around her. Moving on to the next one, we have 2 figures from Good Smile Company. The first one would be, Frieren. 18,000 yen only with that base, with that diorama set up. Oh, that is great value. The only negative thing I can say about it is, the pose is pretty boring. I guess you guys will agree with me on this. Boring pose, but the base kind of makes up for it a bit. Still, I don't see many people saying this is the best figure of her. Which company was it where they have Frieren and Fern together as one set? It was really expensive. Was it 50,000 yen or so? Yeah, I think that was probably the best figure of her. Was it Shibuya Scramble figure? I can't remember. But this one is not a bad buy for under 20k. It is good value. Good Smile is putting up great value nowadays. And moving on to the next one, I am not surprised by this re-release at all. After this figure came out, she became extremely rare and expensive in the aftermarket. Yeah, people were asking for 40 to 50,000 yen just within a month after she came out. So I'm not surprised that Good Smile re-releasing this one, because why would you let the scalpers make money when you can keep the profit for yourself? You know, so-called smart investors, they buy a house today for 250 grand. 5 years later, they flip it for 600, and that is what people call genius investing. But when you do the same thing to limited edition merchandise, Bandai model kits, P Bandai, that is scalping, because which people are the ones making the rules, saying which is okay, which isn't. And to me, both are not okay, right? Very unethical. Back to this figure over here. Yes, if you missed out your first chance, this is your second chance. Grab one. Even though it is 33,000 yen almost, it is worth it. One thing to note about this figure is that it does have a flaw where the base is not completely flat. Some people were saying the figure wobbles a bit because, yeah, at the bottom it is not flat for some reason. But if you want to go for something else, Kadokawa's version, the one that went on pre-order last week, yep, the monitors light up, there are LEDs in it, so it might be worth considering. I am starting to like the Kadokawa version a lot, yeah. Moving on to the next figure, okay. Kotobukiya has two re-releases over here. The first one from My Little Pony, Pinkie Pie Bishoujo statue for 16,000 yen, coming out in January very soon. Can any one of you explain to me why this thing is so popular with adults? To me, you know, I thought this thing was designed for children, for girls. But adults, adult dudes, adult human males are the ones queuing up for products from My Little Pony. Does it have something to do with the furry stuff? Yeah, it is not like I know everything, so please enlighten me in the comments below. What is up with the popularity of My Little Pony? And the second re-release is from Fire Force Art FX series, Tamaki Kotatsu at 1/8 scale, 15,000 yen only. My comments is always the same. Paintwork flat, very little to no shading, but great value buy regardless, because Kotobukiya never screws up the face of their figures. Just that this figure is a tad bit boring in pose, right? Okay, moving on to the next one over here, we have another Dragon Ball Alien Cell Second Form by Plex, which I thought this figure just went on pre-order a couple of months ago, or maybe that was a different version, slightly different version. 28k. I'm not paying that kind of money for aliens. Moving on to the next one. Okay, we are now entering low budget figure territory on HLJ. We have a 1/6 scale Serena by Bear Panda, 7,500 yen only. And for some reason, I have no idea why these low cost figures, which are supposed to be quite simple, take so long to release. This one is coming out in August next year. A year and a month away. I don't think I will pre-order this one now, but I am very interested in picking one up simply because of how photogenic she is. You know, with human photographers, portrait photographers, they ask the model, the bride and bridegroom, the cosplayer to pose in a very specific way so that the photos turn out nice. You can't do that to figures, especially scale figures. So a very nice and photogenic pose is important to me as a figure photographer, and this thing is right up my alley. So I might actually pick one up after release. Yeah, there are not much details on this figure, just that her dress has a very nice texture over here. This is very similar to the kind of thing Taito Corful has on the prize figures. All these fine repeating patterns or textures. Not too expensive to replicate in figures actually. Moving on to the next one, we have a low cost Oshinoko figure by Kadokawa, Kana Arima Full Moon version, and this has to be based on that music video where she was singing in the karaoke in season 1. Yeah, must be based on that. Just a white summer dress. And this is a small figure, which is why it is so cheap. Pop-up rate size. So this is a bit like a slightly higher quality pop-up rate. Depends on whether like it or not. It is a bit too small to me. But once again, this figure is photogenic, so I would love to photograph it at least once. Moving on to the next one over here. Okay, with pop-up rates, usually it starts at just under 4,000 yen. To be exact, 3,934 yen, something like that before taxes, and 4,364 yen after taxes, right? But that usually applies to, you know, figures of characters that are not very popular. Like anything that is not from Blue Archive or Hololive, there would be 4,000 yen plus minus, and then the Hololive stuff will have a 1,000 yen premium. But for a character like this, Izutsumi from Delicious in Dungeon, which is a seasonal anime, once again, there is a season 2 coming. This is supposed to be a 4,000 yen figure, but it is now 5k, must be the depreciating yen once again. So I am thinking going forward, the new Hololive figures, if any, from pop-up rate will be 6,000 yen, not 5,000 anymore. Okay, moving on to the next one over here, we have a re-release of Isaac Clarke from Dead Space. just under 4,000 yen. Yeah, because this is a re-release, they have made the molds already, so they are selling it at the old price of 4,000 yen, right? Very detailed for a pop-up raid, seriously. Moving on to the next budget figure, we have pop-up raid Shua Chao Marcel. What is up with Shua Chao? Is it like another new product line under pop-up raid which is cheaper because it is like a noodle stopper figure with no base? Anyways, yeah. Yes, this must be a different variety, a different version of pop-up raid, because I do remember Marcel already has a normal pop-up raid on pre-order. So this is 4,000 yen coming out in January next year. Let me have a look at the pictures. Yeah, just a sitting pose figure with no base, I think. Lovely face expression though. Yeah, no complaints over here for 4,000 yen. Moving on to the next one. From Mietos, we have a 1x10 scale gift plus their version of pop-up raid. Arknight Stone's floating gear version for 4,800 yen coming out in January. Okay, this is a very detailed looking figure for 4,800 yen, just that, yeah, the pose is boring AF once again. Let me have a look at the paintwork. Yeah, this is pretty good for 4,800 yen. Looks better than most pop-up raids. Moving on to the next one. Okay, we have a bunch of Ado Canet figures over here by Bandai. Their own version of low-cost figures. Must be really small, I think. Oh, come on. They did not mention the size. I'm betting like 12 centimeters at best. Anyways, we have 3 figures from Gintama, Jintoki Sakata, and then we have Kotaro, Katsura, and lastly, Shinsuke Takasugi for about 3,500 yen each. Not the kind of thing I would buy. And then we have 4 Oshinoko figures under the same product line. We have Aqua, Ruby, Kana Arima, and okay, 3 figures, not 4. For the last 2 figures today on HLJ, I have already covered them last week. This Ishimi Yokoyama figure over here and Fallen Angel Chesia, they were on Ami only. Now they are on HLJ, so do check them out if you buy from HLJ regularly. Now moving on to Ami for some exclusive items and items that are not yet on HLJ at the time of recording. The first one is KT Model Plus Ami exclusive Resin Stout. I'm not sure if I want to pay 32,000 yen for this Ryza figure because there are so many other options of her already selling for less money. If you want to play it safe, just get the one by Alter for like 23,000 yen, 21,000 yen. Why would I pay 32 for this? Yeah, that is the problem over here. And from the looks of it, I think every KT Model Plus figures are Ami exclusives. I think Musashi Berserker back then was the same. Yeah. You know, with sitting pose figures, they are normally not very big. At least that is the impression they give. So 32,000 yen feels really expensive over here. Yeah. Though the detail department is really impressive, I really like the apple over here. It even looks what do you call that? Oxidized. Yeah. It looks oxidized. The paintwork is really nice over here. So I can certainly appreciate the level of detail on the paintwork of this figure. It is really good. I mean, look at the shading over here on the pouches. Very nice. But is it worth 32k? I'll let you answer that question. Okay, moving up to the next figure over here. Ami exclusive as well. And this is actually the second time a low-cost Chinese brand figure is ending up as an exclusive on Ami. Very interesting trend. Can't say I like it. But anyways, this is Koi Sakura Sophia F Shirring bikini version for 7,700 yen. Plain bikini figure for 7,700. I would say very fair, to be honest, because we have a lot of overpriced swimsuit figures by Japanese brands. They are pretty big, pretty tall, 1x7 to 1x6, and they ask for anywhere between 15 to 25,000 yen. Yeah, a big range over there. And this is not that different from what the Japanese brands are doing. Simple 1617 scale figure with swimsuit, and they're asking half of that, right? 7,700. So I mean, if most of the Sophia F Shirring figures out there are too expensive for you, this is the next best thing, I suppose. Yeah, there is a price point for everyone. Moving up to the next one, the next few figures, they are not exclusives, just that HLJ has not listed them yet at the time of recording. The first one here from Kadokawa and KD Call, gushing over magical girls. I've told you guys like a billion times to go and watch it if you haven't done so. Yeah, the anime, because it is exactly the kind of thing social justice warriors hate so much. And that is why it is worth celebrating that such an anime, such a thing even existed in the first place in today's rather hostile online climate in a way, you know, where people get offended over everything and anything. So this figure of Maja Bezer aesthetic whip version, unfortunately, I'm not sure if I can recommend this one. And this is an unusual one because I would advocate for going for the pop-up rate L. Yes, I know that it is weird for me to suggest pop-up rate over actual skill figure, but we are talking about pop-up rate L, not the tiny pop-up rate with QC issues. Pop-up rate L is around 1/7 skill as well. But the next issue I have, the next two issues in fact. Number one, I feel like the pop-up rate L has a better pose. Yeah, subjectively speaking. And the third thing is that the base. This is 25,000 yen, man. Come on, put in more effort. Why a black plastic disc base? That is too little effort for a figure that costs 25k. Or maybe Kadokawa is doing it on purpose. They don't have to do much to sell a figure like this because of how popular and successful the anime turns out to be. So they can, you know, they can just sell you guys at a higher price and people will buy it anyway. Yeah. Moving on to the next one over here. For some reason, this is not on HLJ. FuRyu Toho Project. Yuyuko Saigyoji, illustration by Ideolo. 1/6 skill, just under 24k. Wow, pigs are flying, man. Pigs are flying. FuRyu offering a 1/6 skill at 24,000 yen. Try to brain that for a second. This wouldn't have been possible just 2 years ago. And now, it is quite a shame that there is a metal rod, but I would rather them be honest about it rather than hiding it from us. And yeah, appears that this figure does require a metal rod. Is the hair translucent? It looks a bit to me. We'll see, because I don't trust FuRyu that much yet nowadays. Moving on to the next one. Oh, this is a resin cast kit. I shouldn't have covered this. This is a non-painted figure, I think. Yeah, can't be painted at 18,000, 19,000 yen, 1/5.5. Yasumi-chan cheerleader. And there are two different versions over here. Number 251 and number 250, yet they look exactly alike. So I'm not sure what is their difference. And up next, yeah, the third girl from Bullet Revenge Hypnosis. Simon, what again? Anyways, I love that H anime so much. Great character design. Minako Sanada, the one that is the thickest among the three. Barrelic Bunny version for 34,000 or 37,000 yen by binding. Yeah, grab one, right? It is a shame that these three girls are in bunny suits other than something else, you know. I think it is wasted potential. Moving on to the next one by Pink Mango Chinese brand. Premium Chinese brand. We have exclusive Mate Lilia. This is the special edition. There are three versions, by the way. Special edition, deluxe, limited edition. Wow. 37,000 yen as well. Coming out in January, very soon. Now, this is a really beautiful, very classy looking Mate figure, which I am normally not fond of because Mate are very common as well, just like bunny girls. And number two, this one has like massive opai, which is not my kind of thing once again, but I find this figure so attractive for some reason. It has to be the character design, yes. And the paintwork in general, those nice ties over there, I find it funny that there are three versions. It feels so unnecessary because 37,400, 36,000, and 33,900, which is 34k. And the difference between the three is how many bonus stuff you get in the box. Like this one, the most expensive one, you get Gengar Tin Badge, Acrylic Stand, and Shikishi. And then the slightly cheaper one, you get 2 items instead of 3. Yeah, Tin Badge and Acrylic Stand, no Shikishi. And then the cheapest version, you still get 1 extra bonus item, which is the Tin Badge. Like, why? I mean, it is great that they give us, the customers, the consumers, choices, and more choices is always a good thing, but this feels a bit much. Yeah, okay, moving on to the next one. The last 3 figures on Ami Ami are, yeah, hardcore degenerate stuff, so I can't show much. Bakunyu Party NTR, my favorite genre in H. Terena DX version at 35,000 yen by Nocturne. Though she isn't my kind of girl over here. Oh, Bakunyu Party. I think I watched it before. I watched this. I know what it is. Yeah, it is indeed an NTR anime. The art was great though. Just that I don't like the body proportions of the character design, but the face was really nice. 35k for 1x6, yeah, very expensive, right? But Nocturne is kind of a not very premium, edgy figure brand by now. And there is a slightly cheaper, oh no, not slightly, much cheaper over here version of 26,000 yen. Okay. Oh, okay. The deluxe version is the one you should be getting, even though it is so expensive, because there are a lot of extra interchangeable parts, which I can't read out because, who knows what YouTube thinks about it. Yeah, get the expensive version, unfortunately. Moving on to the last figure on Ami Ami for today, another degenerate but very cultured figure. We have Seiso Kei Dosuke Be Oni-chan, Succubus Ako illustration by Ri Shimashima, 1x6 scale by Vibrasta. Vibrasta is a top tier figure brand, by the way, and actually a Chinese figure brand, but their edgy figures are great. They are amazing. Yeah, and I love this figure, even though she is sitting on a toilet bowl. I mean, who doesn't want to try doing it at least once in their lives in a public toilet, because, it feels more exciting? Yeah. Okay, and before we move on to third-party resin figures, the last 4 figures for today, yeah, cultured degenerate stuff. By Insights and Beeful, as usual, they are only available at Ninin Game. And the first one over here, 2 versions of this character over here, Hanaoka-san, 1x6 scale at 20k or 1x4 scale at 27k as usual. And lastly, 2 versions of this character over here, Futanari Girl Yua. Yeah, that is a dude, by the way. 1x6 and 1x4 once again. And that is all for genuine figures on pre-order this week. Now we move on to third-party resin figures making use of, yeah, our affiliate partner as well, OSGK, and we have a lot of degenerate stuff this week. A lot. Alright, moving on to the first one over here. This is an update from last week. Last week we got a teaser pic of this Tracer figure from Overwatch by The Talent Studio. And now we have full picture and prices, and this is a must-have for Overwatch fans. A must-have, and that is not an exaggeration. This is among the best Overwatch statues I've seen at 1x4 scale, going for up to $580 if you buy the deluxe version. The standard version, if you are not interested in the cast off parts, is only $378. So, I mean, imagine you're getting a full statue with that, whatever that thing she is riding on, for under $400. Amazing buy, right? I hope that the pictures are fine. Okay, so this is totally my kind of thing. I love details like this, seriously. Oh. Now this is a realistic face figure that I don't mind having at all, because that is what she looks like in the game anyway. So what that means is that the character design is accurate. I care about accuracy quite a bit when it comes to faces. Oh. She's pretty even without the goggles. I would display her with the goggles because it feels like that is a trademark of Overwatch characters in general. Oh, she's pretty, man. I should really stop scrolling these pictures before I fall to the temptations, but I need to show you guys the pictures, right? Oh, that is enough. You guys got to see how good the figure looks. So go and get one. Seriously, I'm putting the link right up here. Okay, I'm moving on to the next one over here. Okay, we have new figures. We have like 3 Anya figures this week alone. We have a lot every week. This one is sports, basketball, Anya. Why? Why? It is only $60, but why? Moving on to the next one. This is Nezuko version, $73. Is it the same studio? Yeah, same studio, spamming Anya figures. And then the third one over here, Waku Waku Studio, they are like Anya specialists by now. Kung Fu Anya. Oh, this must be based on the Kung Fu Panda post, I think. $99. People are buying them. That is the thing. I don't understand. Moving on. Oh, the fourth one. Okay. Oh, this one looks quite nice. Anya calls as Levi Ackerman. Okay. I like the post on this one. But just that I'm not very confident with how that one single leg would hold up in a hot weather, you know. I mean, resin is a harder material than PVC, but they better put a metal rod reinforcement inside. Yeah, I'm not confident with this over here. Moving on to the next one, we have a few One Piece figures for this week. From Jika Studio, we have Big Mom, Charlotte Lin Lin. I thought Big Mom is the big fat mom, or are they the same character? She can just shrink herself whenever she wants. Let me know down in the comments below. $255 at 1/7 scale. Okay. Oh, they already have a prototype over here. Alright, not my kind of thing though. Moving on to the next one over here from Pofang Studio, we have One Piece Female Eagle Resonance Series. Boy Hancock. $233, you're actually getting 2 torso parts. There is a second body where she is wearing semi-transparent clothing I can't put on screen. $223 and getting so much accessories is worth it, just that I am not really a big fan of the face on this version of Boa Hancock. Yeah. Not a big fan of it. Oh, okay. No, you're not exactly getting 2 bodies, more like she is wearing cloth outfit. So you're getting a second outfit where the cloth is semi-transparent in a way. Right, moving on to the next one, we have XY Studio and AAS Studio One Piece Baby 5. Is there a Baby 5 in One Piece? $139 only. September release, wow. 2 months away, 1.5 months away. Low detail figure, right? Yeah. This is a low budget resin figure right here. Nothing much to see otherwise. Moving on to the next one. Oh, we have a realistic Yamato from Hoku Studio. There are several versions over here. Battle suit version looks great, but I hate that realistic face. Well, I hate is a strong word. More like I'm not a fan of. I don't hate it. It is pretty. Okay, and then we have a kimono version and Supreme version to get both. Alright. I would settle with the battle suit version. She looks great at $448. That is all I need, by the way. Okay, moving on to the next one, we have Kitsune Statues, which is a licensed resin figure brand. Tear Hannibal and Ichigo from Bleach. Oh, no, this is Ichigo and from Bleach, Tear Hannibal. Okay. Oh, 2 figures over here. You see? That is the thing. I don't watch shonen stuff and I'm making myself look like a joke over here in front of camera, saying stupid things. Okay, Tear Hannibal, $768 and Tear Hannibal plus Ichigo, $813. Oh. You know, I am not exactly impressed by what I'm looking at. Is this worth 700 plus? Yeah, maybe that is normal price for anything licensed, but I'm not really impressed, to be honest. No comments, man. I have no comments other than not feeling impressed. Moving on to the next one, we have one Evangelion figure, Asuka by Tistel Senton Studio and Mystic Ball Studio. Okay, this one is available in 1/6 scale at $191 and 1/4 scale at $347. So this is the full figure and she is actually wearing something that goes all the way down. She is not exposed down there. But the face on this is, ooh. You know, there are so many Asuka figures out there. Some look excellent, some are okay, some are meh. This one is near the excellent level in terms of whether I like the face or not. A bit different from the anime art style, but very attractive regardless. I like it a lot. Moving on to the next one over here, we have a figure of Violet Evergarden. Yeah, KyoAni refuses to license out her to genuine figure brands for some reason, so the third party has to do it. Violet Evergarden by Panda Studio, 1/6 scale, $237. I want to see the full figure. Alright. Very nice. This almost looks like a CGI picture, but it is not. This is a real photograph because you can see, the foreground over here, and then it is curving upwards. So they actually photographed an object in a light box over here. This is an actual figure. So looks really good to me. Yeah. Color is a bit bland, white on the whole thing, but looks really good. Moving on to the next one, a degenerate Frieren and Fern figure again. I can't show much. So we have both Frieren and Fern with their backside exposed. And yeah, they are playing on this joke where Frieren got trapped in a treasure box. So this is by Apex Studio, different from the Apex Toys genuine figure brand. Different companies altogether. And this one goes for $296, which I'm not sure if I can recommend, even though there are two figures over here with a treasure box, simply because the detail level and the face of these two figures, I'm not exactly impressed. Yeah. Up next, from 67 Studio, we have Sword Maiden from Goblin Slayer. Not something I was expecting from a third party, but really welcome because we have a pair of goblins doing what they do best to the Sword Maiden over here. I would highly recommend Goblin Slayer fans to pick one up, even though this is a bit raunchy. Yeah. Starts from $276, and then there's a Hadaka version. You can buy the goblins only for $79. Maybe I should buy the goblin only to terrorize my other existing figures, Moving on to the next one. Okay, we are now going into 1/4 scale territory. There are a few of them this week. Some really good ones as well. The first one is by a licensed resin figure brand, Tri-Eagles Studio, Chinese Paladin statue series Lin Yue Ru. And that has to be some Chinese MMORPG game or comic character again. Deluxe version 700, Supreme version 759. Small difference, just go for the Supreme version. And why are they calling the base model as Deluxe version? Should be Standard and Deluxe, right? Why Deluxe and Supreme? Let's have a look over here. Very generic Chinese theme figure, Very pretty face for sure. Alright, moving on to the next one. Diamond Studio, apostrophe, Snow Queen. We all know who she is. No price yet. This is an early bird pre-order and no scale yet. We don't even know what the scale is. I'm predicting 1/4, which is why I put her in 1/4 section over here. Yes, obviously this is Disney's Frozen, right? Very obvious. Yeah, they can't mention anything related to Disney or they'll get sued into oblivion. I have some sort of a grudge towards Disney, and no, it has nothing to do with politics or SJW stuff. It has to do with an incident a few years ago where, if I'm not mistaken, Disney holds the copyright to the Star Wars series as well. So there were figure photographers out there who took photos of the Star Wars figure they purchased, including Legos, and then Disney tried to sue them in some way. I think it is more of a cease and desist letter, which is more like a threat: if you don't stop, we'll sue you. Especially people who were selling artwork and photography works of their very own figures they paid for. Yes, Disney owns the rights to those characters, but they bought the figure, and it is a derivative work. The photographs came from their own cameras, so the photographer owns the rights to the photographs. That is how I see it. And I mean, why would you antagonize your own fan base, right? If your fan base like your stuff and they make content out of your characters, your own licensed characters, you should be supporting them. You should be sharing out their photography works instead of trying to sue them. I just don't get it. Over here in Malaysia, in Asia, we don't have this problem. I mean, we can photograph whatever we want and sell the pictures, sell the artworks, right? Derivative work over here in Asia in general is not an issue at all. Yeah. And as we can see, MiHoYo is pretty much turning a blind eye towards all this third-party stuff from Genshin, from Honkai. They don't care. Yeah, that is the way it should be. Moving on to the next one over here from ACY Studio, a very renowned and seasoned 1/4 scale resin brand by now. Taimanin series Shiranui Mizuki version 2.0. Yeah. Large opaque characters are not my kind of thing, but this is a good buy, right? For those of you who like her. Not my kind of thing. Version A, it actually starts from $67. Yeah, just under $600. Don't be too scared by this price over here. That is provided you buy everything, which is like 4 different versions over here. Why would you buy 4 versions of the same figure, right? Just pick one. That is good enough. There is a pregnant version over here, which you guys should at least take a look at the photographs. I can't put on screen at all. Yeah. Moving on to the next one. Another Taimanin figure, Igawa Asagi by Swallow Studio. Wow. $344 for 1x4 scale is a serious bargain though. As long you don't mind displaying something like that, yeah. I actually like it, even though this isn't my kind of figure, man. I like it a lot. Okay, moving on to the next one. This is a surprise. From Shunga Studio, Vermeil in Gold, seasonal anime. And a character from an anime that got only 12 episodes, Vermeil, is getting a 1x4 scale premium statue. I did not see this coming, man. I think this is a bit different from what we saw in anime. Yeah, this is a bit more realistic, but it still resembles her a lot. I did not finish watching the anime. I think I was stuck at episode 6 or 7. And I just remembered to watch it after seeing this figure. Yeah, there are 2 versions. The other version I can't put on screen. Yeah, something cultured once again. The standing version, the one you're looking at, is going for $396, which is very fair for 1x4 scale. Moving on to the next one. Wow. Okay, Barcode Studio, Marvel, Venom Girl. Oh, so this is a Marvel character, is it? Okay, this one begins from, how much is it? $448 at 1x4 scale. Black and white version. There is a white version too. No pictures yet, I assume. Marvel, DC stuff, I'm not touching them. Moving on to the next one. Oh, this is nice. Lemalin from Azalane. I love my lollies. Once again, this is by Rainbow Studio at only $187, but this is 1x7, not 1x6. A bit disappointing there. The thing is that with Lemalin, we have 2 excellent figures already. One by Alter and the other one by Chinese brand. What is the name again? Any Game. Yes, by Any Game. So there are already 2 amazing Lemalin figures out there by genuine figure brands. A bit difficult for me to recommend this one, but if you are a Lemalin enthusiast, you want as many figures of her as possible, then yes, pick one up. She looks great over here. Next figure. Oh wow. This is an early bird pre-order. Yeah, the $659 is not yet confirmed, but if it is true, like under $700 for both of these at 1x4 scale, absolute bargain. Hobby House Studio, their Makima was great. Yeah. And I think their Marin Kitagawa was also pretty good as well. Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Mitra and Pyra. Yeah, 1x4 scale, no price, no release date yet. You might want to keep a close tab on this one. And they actually bothered to show us the face sculpt in the pictures below. So go and check them out. I think they look great. Moving up to the next one, we have 2 2B figures from Nier Automata. This is actually a 2B. It doesn't look like her at all. Let's just call it an artist impression version. A different artist and his or her own take on the same character by Yorha Studio. Okay, the rope version, which is the one you're looking at, $500 but not yet confirmed. This is an early bird pre-order. Yeah. And once again, there is an edgy version, I suppose, which I can't put on screen. It doesn't look like 2B to me, but it is still a great looking figure regardless. Moving on to the next 2B figure. This Jack Opos again. Only $191 at a 1x4 scale, man. Oh wow, yes. $191 at 1x4 scale. I am interested. 1/6 scale going for $119, under $120, and the 1/4 is going for under $200. Okay, let's have a look at the face. Okay, the figure isn't very detailed, which is no surprise at this price point. But, I mean, what else can you ask for, man? Just buy the cloth version, don't buy the Hadaka version. There is no point. Buy the cloth version at 1x4. for under $200. Man, this is great buy. Moving on to the next one. Okay, we have like 3 original characters to go through over here. First one by Soul Studio, Mio Ryomiya. Okay, so if this is an original character by right, it is technically a licensed figure because you know the character design is by the studio who made the figure. Yeah, this is $166 only at 1/6 scale. I like the character design. I like the pantsu down part. Who doesn't like pulling down someone's pantsu, right? So $166 is fair for something like this, really. I don't even know what to say anymore. My mouth is running a bit dry after talking for so much. Moving on to the next one, another original character from Chie's Cat Studio. Non-series original character collectible statue. Okay, standard version is going for $255, the one you're looking on screen. Deluxe edition, you get another second torso body. Maybe perhaps an entire figure for $298, is it? Oh no. $255 and $298, small price difference. That means they're giving you an extra torso or body only, not an entire figure, which is still fine. Yeah, go and check out the pictures yourself. This is all I can show you guys. I actually like it quite a bit. Sometimes I do wonder whether I like weird stuff like this, you know, these weird fetishes. I am not into torture or BD disc, but sometimes the figures look great. Moving on to the third one over here from Pink Kitty Studio. This was actually pretty popular on my Facebook page. People liked the character design. Original character, small zombie, is not white. Okay, $155 at 1/6 scale. Great value buy. No release date yet. Must be Jiangshi again, is it? No. Yes, it is a Jiangshi. There is this talisman in front. Great figure for $155. Oh, that... Wow. Based on their own original art. Lovely. Alright, next figure. We have 2 Asuna figures over here. The first one is by Tistel Senton Studio. Sports Time Ichinose Asuna. Standard version is going for $191. EX version, you get 2 entire figures. The other one is without any clothes on, naturally, for $335. Like I said earlier in the past, striptease is better than full Hadaka. So I would go for the standard version. I'm so done with getting 2 or 3 figures with every purchase, you know. Up next. Hold on. I thought we have 2 Asuna figures. Yeah, there is an Asuna here as well. Okay. So this is Kakudate Karin and Ichinose Asuna by Kuwon Studio. Each character has 2 different versions. So there are 4 figures over here. Starting from $200 for a 1/4 scale. Alright, this is on par with the Nier Automata 2B figure earlier, the Jack Opos one. Yeah, this is a 1/4. We don't have any full body pictures yet, unfortunately. Bunny version and school uniform version. The school uniforms are real fabric from the looks of it. So in this case, I would pick the bunny version. I hate real cloth on figures, man. Yeah. Okay, moving on to the next one. Oh, Asuna again. Okay, this is a 1/3 scale, Dolphy scale, a seamless action figure. From Yuzai Renshin Studio again. They are known for doing this kind of thing. And it goes for only $361. There has not been even once I recommended buying something from them. But from what I know, my Facebook followers, a few did purchase figures or dolls from this brand. So yeah, personal taste, I suppose. I suppose that at least they would look great next to BJD dolls and Dolphys, right? When you display them next to each other. Moving on to the next one. Life-sized artificial girlfriend, as I call it. So sometimes you want to date a pretty cosplayer, but you never had any luck because you have a face problem or you are too poor for women to take you seriously. So this is the next best thing you can buy, lower maintenance as well. From RHB Studio, we have, beautiful girl cosplaying as Kafka. And to be honest, a life-size statue like this, which you can insert your banana inside the the meat hole anytime you want for $1,300 is pretty good deal. However, I wouldn't do that if I were you, even if there is a meat hole down there. No, please don't do it. This is a very nice display piece. in your home or in your studio. Like my studio, I would love to have something like this on display, just that it doesn't make sense to for me right now to spend $1,300 on something like this. Like, if I have visitors, they will be asking me all kind of questions. Seriously, goodbye, right? There is a cheaper version, configuration 2 over here for $800 only, but I don't think it is worth it because normally the cheaper version in this life-size stuff, they use a less realistic material for the skin region. So if you buy something realistic, you want the skin region to feel like real human skin, then you go for the expensive one. Yeah. Moving on to the next one over here. Yeah, we are now in Honkai Star Rail territory. I think we have 4 figures, including the real waifu over there, real life-size waifu. Once again, Firefly. I heard she is immensely popular, so it is no surprise to see her get so many figures. This is by Lee Hui Studio in swimsuit, 1x6 scale, standard edition, 228, deluxe edition, 296. Yeah, the usual stuff, right? Getting a version without any clothes on. Reminds me of that Shirogane figure by Good Smile a bit. Yeah, the one where she is sitting on a float and there are water splashes as well. But that one was way cheaper. Moving on to the next one over here, we have a March 7th figure by the Queen Studio at $226 at 1x6 scale. We have one picture only over here. Sufficiently high resolution and she looks great. I love the face over here. Just that unfortunately for the Queen Studio, now that Apex Toys has a licensed figure of her, and I have never seen Apex Toys screw up a figure before. Since Klee perhaps, which was 3 or 4 years ago already, they don't screw up the face of their figures. Yeah, it is a bit tough for third parties to sell, right? But seriously, if you like what you are looking at, and especially for me, someone who is a photographer, to see an anime character, an anime figure holding a camera, there is like an extra incentive for me to grab the figure because it reflects my hobby, my other hobbies. That looks like a Fujifilm Instax camera, that instant camera which prints out a photograph like that. Yeah, looks something like that, but very nice. I like it. Okay, moving on to the next one. Now, this is a good buy for those of you who want degenerate stuff and you want Ahegao face figures. This is only $137 Fuxian by Twinkle Studio. I want one, man. I want it. You know, there are no version A and version B for you to choose from, yet you can cast off the figure, so you're actually getting 2 torsos, 2 bodies for $137. I think this is a great buy. I told myself don't buy Hadaka figures again because they are overrated, and here I am thinking of getting this one. Moving on to the next one over here. Okay, from Miyin Studio, they actually put their Nicole Demara figure on pre-order just very recently, I think a week or 2 weeks ago. Now they have announced Anbi Demara. No official price yet, but the pricing shouldn't be far off Nicole, right? So it is about plus minus $250 as stated over here. So this is actually her sister. Yeah, I'm thinking of playing the game. Still thinking of playing. I'm not sure yet. I have time management issues trying to do so many things. Moving up to the next one, this is more of a product announcement with a teaser pic from COD Studio, Zenless, Zone Zero, Hoshimi Miyabi. Yeah, and that is all we got. We'll see in 1 or 2 weeks whether we get any additional updates or not. Up next, oh, this is good. ML and LC Studio. LC Studio, they make excellent figures of Attack on Titans, man. So when I say LC Studio over there, yeah, I'm looking forward to see how the figure turns out. I think it will be great. This is Hoshimi Miyabi from ZZZ again. No price yet. Cat Girl. Nekomimi Girl. Oh, this is a great base. I love it. This is something I would put a Miku figure on, or anything that is idol character. Yeah, Hololive character as well. This would be a great base, seriously. So far, if you ask me which is my favorite third-party resin figure this week, I'm not sure, but this one is near the top of my favorite. Moving up to the next one, okay, we are now into Genshin Impact territory, 5 figures for this week, and 2 of them are degenerate stuff. Okay, so the first one here from Mi Studio, we have Chlorine, or Chlorine Day, I'm not sure how to pronounce her name. $237 at 1/6 scale coming out this December. Okay, the thing of this character is that not many people make figures of her. Yeah, not many third parties. Maybe she isn't very popular, I'm not sure. And they really love putting figures on these luxury Victorian era looking sofas, couches, and so on. Yeah, the third parties, they love this kind of chairs for some reason. I don't like the face, to be honest. Once again, a closer look. Do you think this resembles her in the game? Let me know down in the comments below. Because there are not many figures of her, by third parties even. The second Genshin figure, PP Source Studio again. Last week, who was it again? Was it Ganyu? I think so. This week, it is Hu Tao for $210. You're getting a small mini diorama over here, and you can look at her from a different angle from outside the window. If you like peeking into windows when people are changing clothes, you get the option over here. $210 is fair for the package you're getting. And you know, a Hadaka version of a body, I think torso only, you have to buy it separately, the DLC over there. I think it is about $59. Moving on to the third Genshin figure. Oh. Yeah, that is all I can show you guys, man. I told you guys, we have a lot of cultured stuff this week. So we have a pair of Nahida and Cleve with Nothing On by Arctic Wolf Studio. Yeah, I can recommend them nowadays easily. For $226, which is actually quite the bargain, but these are small figures because number one, they are small characters, and number two, they are unfortunately 1/7 scale, which is the sad part. Yeah. The fourth Genshin figure over here, we have Ganyu getting looted again by Starry Sky Studio. Okay, speaking of Starry Sky Studio, right, one of you actually messaged me in my Facebook, and I really appreciate it. I want feedback. I want to know when I am right or I am wrong. So one of you messaged me saying that you bought two Ganyu figures. They are very similar figures but made by different companies. One was by like AYB Studio or something like that, and the other one is by Starry Sky Studio, you know, the Ganyu Bow figure. The AYB one was terrible. Yeah. And meanwhile, the Starry Sky Studio one, you liked it a lot. So this is not my feedback. This is a feedback based on someone who actually bought a figure from Starry Sky Studio. So if you want a looted Ganyu figure, you might want to consider this company over here. Yeah, once again, not my own words. It came from a fellow customer, a fellow buyer of figures by this brand. Okay, and lastly for today, life-sized artificial girlfriend again, but Ganyu. And you can screw with it all day you want, but please don't do that to something that cost over $1,000. Very pretty, I like it, but once again, this feels like having a Genshin Impact cosplayer sitting at home. And that is all for figures on pre-order this week. Which one will you get? Let me know down in the comments below. Until then, if you found this video helpful or entertaining, give this video a like, subscribe to this channel for anime figure content every week. Until then, I'll see you guys again very soon. Goodbye.